When we think about changing our lives, we usually imagine big actions, huge changes that come with major decisions or dramatic events. But through the years after working with many people and seeing who does well and who struggles, I've come to understand something important. It's not the big changes that have the most impact. It's the small ones, the tiny habits and everyday decisions we make. You really want to change your life in a big way, you need to begin with the small steps. Those small habits we often ignore or think don't matter actually build up over time. And let me tell you, the results of putting in steady effort over time are incredible. After doing these small things for long enough, your life may look completely different. One day you'll wake up and realize you're living the life you once only dreamed about, and it all started with a few small habits. Now just stop and think about this for a moment. What if you could completely change your life by simply changing 10 small habits? It doesn't sound too hard, does it? 10 simple things. 10 little actions you can start doing today, and over time they could totally shape your future. That's the amazing thing about habits. They don't need you to change your whole routine or wait for some lucky break. You can begin right where you are with whatever you've got. So what are these small habits? What are these things that if you make them part of your day, can help you transform your life? Let's go through them one by one. First, reading. You might be thinking, I don't have time to sit down and read every day, but hear me out. Reading is one of the strongest habits you can build. And I'm not talking about any kind of reading. I mean reading that has a goal. Reading that challenges your brain, stretches how you think, and brings new ideas into your life. What you put into your mind matters just as much as what you put into your body. Reading is more than just a hobby. It's a doorway. It lets you step into new ideas, new viewpoints, and even new chances in life. When you read on a regular basis, you feed your brain with knowledge, with smart ideas, with new ways of seeing things. So many people want to be successful and grow, but they aren't giving their minds the right fuel. Success needs a mind that's always learning, always open, always getting stronger. Reading is the easiest way to do that. Think about it. Every time you open a book, you're holding someone's life work in your hands. Their thoughts, their experiences, their wisdom. What an amazing gift. Instead of taking years to figure something out yourself, you can learn those lessons in just a few hours. Now, I'm not saying you have to read all day. Just 10 or 15 minutes of focused reading every day adds up. That knowledge grows. Like money gaining interest in the bank. And that kind of growing knowledge, that's what really changes your life. It changes how you think, how you handle problems, and how you move forward in life. But here's something important. You have to choose carefully what you read. Not all books are worth your time. You don't want to fill your mind with junk. Instead, read books that push you, that make you think, that help you grow. Whether it's stories about successful people, self-help, or books on business or strategy, pick something that matches where you want to go in life. Because where you end up tomorrow depends on what you put into your mind today. The thoughts you allow in will shape your future. So make reading a daily habit, and you'll begin to see your thoughts, your choices, and your whole life start to shift. Next, journaling. Do you know what nearly all successful people have in common? They keep a journal, and they use it regularly. It's one of those simple habits that doesn't get enough attention. Writing things down, especially your ideas, goals, and dreams, is powerful. It's almost like magic. When you write your thoughts on paper, they feel more real. They're not just bouncing around in your head anymore, making you stressed or confused. Instead, you can see them clearly, right in front of you. Well, it gives you a sense of control. You can now look at the problem or the idea, understand it better, and start thinking of ways to handle it or make it happen. Writing your thoughts is like giving your brain a break. Think about what happens if you never write anything down. Your mind gets packed full of thoughts, plans, worries, and ideas. It's exhausting. Your brain tries to hold everything at once, but it just can't. But when you sit down with a notebook and start writing, you take all that clutter out of your mind. It's like cleaning up a messy space. Suddenly everything is neater. You can think more clearly, make better plans, and focus on what really matters. And it doesn't take long. Just a few minutes a day can make a huge difference. Another great thing about journaling is that it helps you keep track of your progress. Life moves quickly, and it's easy to forget how far you've come, but when you make it a habit to write down your goals and thoughts often, you're also building a record of your journey. And there's nothing more motivating than looking back at what you wrote months ago and realizing how much you've grown, how many problems you've solved, and how many goals you've already met. Start small. Take 5 or 10 minutes each day and just write. It doesn't have to be deep or perfect. Just let your thoughts come out naturally and you'll begin to feel a big shift in how you think, plan, and grow. Now let's talk about goals. This is where things really start to move. I always say that if you're not setting goals, it's like being a boat without a steering wheel. You might be moving, but you're going wherever the current takes you. That's no way to live. Goals give you direction. They give you something to aim at, something to work toward. When you know exactly what you want, you stop wasting time on stuff that doesn't help you. Every choice, every step you take moves you closer to your goal. That's the true power of setting goals. Most people think of goals as something you do once a year, usually on New Year's. But honestly, goal setting should happen every day. Each morning, ask yourself, what do I want to achieve today? What's one thing I could do today that would help me grow or move forward? Write it down. That becomes your goal for the day. Now, your brain knows what to focus on, and believe me, your brain loves having a task. But remember this, your goals need to be clear. If your goals are vague, your results will be vague too. You can't just say, I want to be successful, or I want to be in shape. What does that really mean? What does success look like to you? What does being fit mean for your life? The more specific your goal, the better. Break down your big dreams into small, doable steps. Then take those steps one at a time. When you get into the habit of setting simple, clear goals every day, you'll be surprised at how much you can get done. Over time, those little wins add up to big success. So make sure you write down your goals every single day. Now, while feeding your brain is super important, don't forget about your body. You need to give your body good fuel too. Exercise is one of those habits that people either love or try to avoid. But it's one of the most important ones. And it's not just about staying in shape. Sure, working out keeps you healthy, but it also helps your mind. It boosts your energy, your focus, and your mood. When you move your body, you remind yourself that you're alive, capable, and strong. And that mindset spreads into every other part of your life. There's a strong link between how you feel physically and how you think. When your body feels good and strong, your mind is sharp and clear. You deal with stress better. You come up with better solutions. You have the energy to go after your goals. That's why making exercise a regular habit is so important. And I'm not saying you need to spend hours at the gym or follow a crazy workout plan. It doesn't need to be that hard. A short walk, some simple stretches, a bit of light lifting, do what feels right for you. The key is to do it often. It's better to move a little each day than to go all out once a week and burn yourself out. Exercise also teaches a life lesson. When you push through the hard parts, when you keep going, even when it's not easy, you become stronger inside. You learn to not quit. And that's a skill you can use in anything you want to achieve. So get in the habit of moving your body every day. You'll not only feel better, but you'll think better, have more focus, and be more motivated to reach your dreams. When you make it a habit to focus on the positive, you start attracting more good things into your life. It works like a magnet. Gratitude shifts your energy. Instead of walking around feeling upset or like you don't have enough, you begin to feel abundant, satisfied, and peaceful. When you are in that kind of mindset, you become more open to chances, new ideas, and the many possibilities that life offers. So how do you turn gratitude into a habit? It's simple. Every day, take a few minutes to think about what you are thankful for. It doesn't have to be something big. Maybe you're grateful you woke up this morning, or maybe it's a kind word from a friend. It could be the sunshine or the shelter over your head. Whatever it is, take a moment to appreciate it. Write it down if you can. Over time, you will notice a change in your thinking. You'll start seeing more and more reasons to be thankful, and your life will feel richer, fuller, and happier. Next, rest. Most of us wake up and keep going all day until we finally collapse into bed, almost like zombies. Rest has become undervalued in our fast-moving world. We're always on the move, chasing the next goal, the next win. But here's the truth. Without rest and recovery, we burn out. Our minds and bodies need time to recharge, to process, and to heal. When you push yourself too hard and skip rest, you aren't helping yourself. In fact, you are holding back your own potential. Rest isn't only about sleep, though sleep is very important. Rest means giving yourself time away from the noise, stress, and constant demands of life. It means letting your mind wander, dream, and relax. Have you noticed how your best ideas come when you aren't trying to think of anything? Maybe when you're in the shower or walking outside or sitting quietly. That's because your mind needs space. It needs those quiet moments to connect thoughts, solve problems, and spark creativity. We live in a culture that praises nonstop work. Everyone talks about grinding, working 24/7 and always being busy. But let me tell you, it's not about how hard you work. It's about how smart you work. Part of working smart is knowing when to step back and rest. Your brain is powerful but needs downtime to work at its best. So make rest a habit. Take short breaks during the day, schedule time to relax, and get enough sleep each night. Rest will boost your productivity and improve your life quality. Rest isn't just sitting still, it's about giving your mind and body time to recover. Maybe rest looks like meditation or a quiet walk in nature for you. Maybe it's spending time with loved ones or doing a hobby that makes you happy. Whatever it is, make sure you build moments of rest into your daily routine. And here's the beautiful thing. When you rest, you come back stronger. Your mind is clearer, your energy is higher, and you're more creative. Don't believe the myth that rest is a luxury or a sign of weakness. Rest is a must and one of your strongest tools for reaching your goals. The next is giving. This was a tough one for me to learn. I always wanted to give more, but used to think I couldn't afford it. Giving is one of those habits that can change not only your life, but also the lives of those around you. There's an old saying, the more you give, the more you get. And it's true, but not in the way most people think. Giving isn't just about money or things. It's about giving your time, attention, energy, and kindness. When you make giving a habit, you open a flow of abundance in your life. It's like a law of nature. The more you put out, the more comes back. But here's the key. Give without expecting anything back. When you give from a true place of kindness without waiting for a reward, you create a feeling of satisfaction that nothing else can match. Here's what I've learned over time. The people who give, really give, seem to have the most. They have plenty of love, joy, and success. Giving isn't just about money, though that's one way. It's about sharing yourself, your talents, your time. Maybe it's mentoring someone, volunteering, or simply being there for a friend who needs you. And don't forget, giving also means giving to yourself. You can't help others if your own cup is empty. Take care of your own needs and fill yourself up so you have more to share. As you make giving a habit, you'll notice something wonderful. The more you give, the more chances and blessings come your way.